Hey, welcome to our Texas Outdoors special. I'm Barry Davis. You know, I'm so lucky to be able to do this. When my boss came to me and said, hey, Barry, I want you to start doing fun things outdoors, I said, are you serious? Well, here we are, several years down the road. We've done so many cool things. We thought it'd be really neat to take a look back. One of our first stories that we did was with the San Antonio Jeep Club. This thing was unreal. I love Jeeps. I've had one. I've got a few stories of my own. But the things that these guys and gals get Jeeps to do now will blow you away. It was first introduced in World War II and cost a whopping $650 each. The Army needed a vehicle that would go anywhere and do anything. But the Jeep has come a long way and costs a whole lot more.
That's when people ask me how much I got in my 401k. I look at my Jeep and say about 60. So
these aren't just any Jeeps. They're modified, lifted with bigger tires to do far more than the original Jeep designers could have ever imagined.
So once you meet Jeep friends and the passion they have for Jeeps, it's just awesome.
Justin Moss caught the bug a few years ago, and with the help of some friends, started the San Antonio Jeep Club.
How you like that?
It now has about 3,000 members.
You feel free when you're out there. It's kind of like people with motorcycles. You have this vehicle that you can go off-roading in. Nice sun out, you take the top off, the doors off, just go for a hill country cruise.
This was no country cruise. The club took us to Hidden Falls Adventure Park, a Jeep enthusiast's dream.
you will be surprised what these things do and how good these tires grip on the rock, especially in a hot summer day. Oh yeah, you'll be hanging off a rock like this, just going up.
Before we climbed any rocks, everyone had to get ready. That means letting some air out of the tires so they grab better and losing as much weight as possible.
It's lifting the whole truck up.
And these toys aren't just for boys.
I asked if you wanted a girl to do it.
A lot of women in the Jeep Club.
Are they as hardcore about?
Some of them even more.
Once everyone was ready, we were off. Road. It's amazing to see what they can do.
Stay driver and give a little bit of gas. Ready? Go, go, go. Go, 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 go.
You might look at this and think, why would you spend that kind of money on a vehicle,
Now turn, now straighten it out. There you go.
then risk tearing it up?
You gotta be kidding me.
Part of it is the challenge. To see if you and your Jeep can do something the others with you can't.
Oh,
Sometimes you end up needing a little help from your friends, but it always comes back around.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was gonna be this nasty.
And every club member says the main thing is be safe, have fun, and always look out for the guy or gal behind you. God, that was so much fun. I swear at one point I thought we were going to fall over. This next one is a totally different form of transportation. And believe me, it would make getting to work an adventure in itself. And you won't get a better view of the hill country than if you go to Helotes Hill Country Zip Lines. The Texas Hill Country has some beautiful views, and there's a really exciting way you can see them. Head about 5 miles north from 1604 on Highway 16, and Helotes Hill Country Zip Lines will give you a view of the hill country you've probably never seen.
Yeah, since 1855.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Rodney and Michelle Modla turned 35 acres of their family's homestead into an amazing 10-station zip line course.
It took me about 9 months to build the whole entire course. About 3 months to slow the lines down because we were too fast for a handbrake tour.
For some people, it may seem a little too scary, standing 45 feet off the ground and testing the uncertain. But this course is probably as safe as they come.
People have an idea formulated in their mind that this may be a dangerous activity, but it's no more dangerous than getting into the shower in the morning.
All right, maybe a little more dangerous than the shower, but they limit the chances.
We're gonna go in and over.
Leah Durain came along with me. Once the staff made sure we were snugly harnessed in,
Okay, anything pinching, pulling, binding, feeling all right?
No, it's good.
We headed out to the equivalent of skiing's Bunny Hill for a little instruction.
I thought there would be brakes on these things.
One trip down a piece and it was straight to Tower 1. We climbed the stairs, watched the catch guides go first, and Leah was chomping at the bit.
Both hands in the trolley, right hand first, left hand on top end.
Like this?
Yep, perfect. Step on down. Right here. Great. Ready?
Yep.
On 3. 1, 2, 3, half back.
The first time across it is a little unnerving, but it's unbelievably exhilarating. Once you go, there's nothing not to trust. Everything is triple backed up.
You would have to have complete failure on every single one of them before the cable would go.
And how much is the cable rated for?
27,000. So 13
That's
tons.
amazing.
Yeah.
For the next hour and a half, Leah and I were like two kids, riding from station to station, not even thinking about what was below.
So this is line 6, 620 feet. This is the highest from the canyon you will be from the ground. You're about 105, 110 feet from the ground, okay?
It was more than okay. The shortest run, about 420 feet. The longest, 1,000. But when you're up there doing 30, 35 miles an hour, that 1,000 feet goes by way too fast.
Oh my God.
Nice job.
Fast stuff. Awesome.
Boy, watching that again makes me want to go out there and jump on that zip line again. It's a ton of fun. The thing is, too, we have some beautiful lakes, rivers, waterways in the hill country. I mean, we can fish, you can boat, you can ski, you can do whatever you want. Anytime somebody says, hey, why don't you go do this on the water? Man, I can't get there fast enough. But when someone said, why don't you try the jet elevator at Canyon Lake? My first response was, what's that?
It looks so effortless. You pop out of the water, then just float along, doing whatever you want.
But you can kind of go up and do corkscrew turns on the hose. You can backflip them. It's fun just doing like S-turns and just circling around the outside of the ski.
Zach Pinnell owns Canyon Lake Adventures. He decided to add the jet elevator to his list of things he offered clients because he and his family enjoyed it so much.
Theoretically, you can just pop up and you could zip
Go.
from here to the dam.
Yeah, it
and
does
back.
about 30 miles an hour if you're going straight, 25
No
to 30.
kidding.
Yeah.
What's not to enjoy? When you're up there, you feel like you're flying, but you have to have enough power to lift you.
This is a 260 horsepower supercharged Yamaha. So
I'm not going to end up on the moon, am I?
No, no. With the setup we have here, it'll probably about 35 feet.
There are several different options. A backpack, which looks straight out of the Jetsons. A footboard, which Pinnell says is the easiest to ride.
People pick it up pretty quick. Within 15 minutes, you're up and flying.
Then there's the Jetavator, which is kind of like riding a motorcycle. And the chair. Pinnell has been riding all of them for 4 years, so he makes it look pretty easy. And that's how he gets most of his business.
People that are stumble around looking for something to do, they bump into us and spontaneously do it.
My trip was planned. We sat on shore. Pinnell explained how it worked. Then he hooked up everything.
You know, I'll give you a little demonstration of how it works, but once you touch the water, within 5 minutes, you should be up and flying the thing around pretty successfully.
Okay, so his idea of 5 minutes is a little different from mine. All the toys are powered by the jet ski. Once he hits the throttle and it starts moving you around, it takes some getting used to. But once you find your balance, in between panic and sheer exhilaration, the feeling is amazing. It's hard to believe you are floating above the water, controlled. And just when you think, okay, I've got this, you don't. It does get much easier each time you get out of the water. I never got to the point where I could do the corkscrews or tricks, but I did get stable enough to stay above the water, at least for a while.
Not very long either. I swear I face planted so many times doing that story. My sinuses were clear for like 2 weeks. Thing is, honestly, I'm so blessed to do this segment, to hunt, fish, do whatever I want outdoors, but none of it would have happened without my dad, who really gave me the passion for the outdoors. Sadly, Dad passed away about 3 years ago, and I thought it'd be a nice tribute to him to show you one of our segments where he, myself, and my oldest son went dove hunting.
Wow, that's pathetic. You're a pathetic shot, Mr. Davis.
No, I wasn't talking about my dad, who went with me on this dove hunt, or my 9-year-old son Garrett, who went along as well.
There you go.
I couldn't very well bust their chops when I was shooting like this. We spent the day just north of Dilley on the Heiner Ranch, where the recent rain and warm temperatures provided almost perfect conditions to hold birds.
It's called Texas croton, doveweed, goatweed, depends on who you ask. And then they'll just walk around. They'll be out in this stuff all day.
There were so many birds, sometimes it was difficult to decide which one to shoot.
Darn it.
And to be honest, I wasn't really concerned about getting birds.
Get it?
At least, not for me. It was about passing down a tradition handed to me from my dad. This was Garrett's first time getting to shoot.
Your first dove!
Yay!
That was awesome.
Give me some.
That was awesome. When Kurt and I both saw it, we were like, I think that was his first one, and he was hopping around a little bit. It was good to see. Yeah. That's what it's all about.
He actually ended the day with 2, shooting a 410.
I love dove hunting because it's a de-stressor.
My friend Carl Eggers went with us too, and you can see they're not the easiest things to hit.
Takes me away from the office, literally and figuratively, and this time of the year is really.
Get it.
Dang.
You got that, right?
Dag nabbit.
Dove hunting can also cause stress when you shoot like that. And I shot like that a lot. I eventually did get my limit and a sore shoulder from missing so much.
Get it, Garrett. Get it right behind you.
But again, this day wasn't about me. I was making sure I had a hunting buddy
There you go. Don't get flustered.
for life.
Just take your time.
I'll hang on to that one forever. This next one, when I first heard about axe throwing, I thought, that sounds stupid. Boy, was I wrong. It is an absolute blast. And if this Texas outdoors doesn't make you want to go, maybe I can tempt you with a beer after we put down the axes, of course.
When the Sweaty Yeti axe throwing venue opened up, I remember thinking, that can't be much fun. Man, was I way off the mark.
Well, on the weekends, we sell out completely in advance, yes.
It's so much fun and a lot easier than you'd think.
Those who start off and they just can't stick will be the most professional axe thrower towards the end of the night, and they'll end up winning the Lumber Lord.
It's grown to more than just bragging rights with your buddies. There's actually a World of Axe Throwing League.
The best of the best get to compete on ESPN.
Get out, really?
It's a thing. They win a lot of money.
I figure there's probably not much chance of me winning money.
All right, you're gonna hold it right out in front of you, just like that. Your left hand is gonna go right on top.
Oh, it's a two-handed thing.
It's a two-handed thing.
But I couldn't wait to try. After a little bit of instruction, I was shocked at my first throw.
Ready?
All right, yeah.
3, 2, 1. See? I told you.
I'm good at this already.
I nailed it right off the bat.
I am Lord of the Lumber.
Then the more we threw, that competitive thing started kicking in.
Beat me there.
So Samantha Sigler, the assistant manager, introduced me to a few of the points games they play.
So now all of a sudden,
The tables
we're
have turned.
19-19. Because you got nothing.
Exactly.
You should lose points. Yours didn't stick.
I should lose points.
Sigler says it's great for a group thing.
There we go. Oh,
They even have a portable unit so they can bring the axes and targets to you.
We bring it to your corporate team building event or wedding or bachelorette party.
wedding. I
Bachelor
don't think
party.
an axe at a wedding goes over
It's
well.
a thing.
Heard of shotgun weddings, but never axe weddings.
3, 2, 1.
Wedding or just a wild urge to try something new, once you start throwing, it's kind of addicting.
You are correct. That is a bullseye.
That's a wattle bullseye.
That is a wattle bullseye.
And at the end of each session, there's a special award for the best in each stall.
This is what I'm talking about. I was lumber lord. I crushed her today.
Yes, you did.
Actually, I barely beat her, but hey, 1 or 1,000, doesn't matter. Boy, that is a ton of fun, too. I got to do a little of that with my youngest son not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago. And truth is, to do most of the things that I get to do in this outdoor segment, you have to be in at least decent shape. And all of us at one time or another have fantasized about being a cowboy. Well, it's a really tough physical life. And when someone suggested, hey, why don't you go check out Cowboy Fitness? I thought, what the heck is that? Let me tell you, it's a little tougher than just sitting in the saddle.
Being a cowboy is as American as apple pie and baseball.
I can talk to them about baseball, football, and they might know a little bit. Everybody knows about a cowboy, son.
Rancho Cortez hosts people from all over the world to live that life, if only for a few days.
I always like to use the term, let's saddle up your dreams. Let's make it a memory.
Larry and Mary Cortez own a several hundred-acre working ranch northwest of Bandera.
You can participate in being a cowboy as much as you want to. Or you can sit around the pool and have you one of them pina coladas.
We didn't come for drinks, though, so Cortez let us know what Cowboy Fitness is all about.
That means walking them fence lines, moving hay bales, picking up rocks, clearing this land, and just cowboying up all the way.
Everyone knows the first thing a cowboy does is take care of his horse, right?
There you go, cowboy.
That means making sure they're fed. I quickly found out the horses had already eaten. Cortez had something else in mind.
Okay, I need you to follow this fence line. You see that big horse on the end?
I do.
I just want you to stay outside the fence, walk to him, and come back.
With the bag.
Well, absolutely.
Down and back just to get the blood pumping.
This is the spot I was looking for.
The putting down part?
Yeah.
Remember the walking the fence part? It wasn't like walking fences in the movies.
All right.
No, hold on the rail. Hold on to the rail.
Oh, okay. That's easy enough.
But stand up straight. Oh, you're looking good. Looking good. Keep walking. If you can pick that pace up, it wouldn't be a bad thing.
What, were you in the Marines?
He wasn't, but he might have actually made a good drill instructor.
You think you can do them a little quicker?
I could.
This ain't an old folks home, you know. Okay, stand up, walk back up.
Since he already had my heart rate up, Cortez thought it might be a good time to get in some upper body conditioning.
We're good?
Yeah, you good.
Oh!
Okay.
All right.
That might be good for the chest and biceps, but a cowboy has to have triceps too.
Looking good, looking good. All right. Okay.
No, I got to do 2 more just so I can say I did 10.
Okay.
I should have stopped because Cortez didn't. It was time to do chores.
How does my career end up with a wheelbarrow full of manure?
Again, a couple of times down and back. Then it was time to clear the fields.
See that tree over there?
I do.
See them rocks on the ground?
Well, I see rocks and trees everywhere.
Well,
You got to be a little more specific.
Well, pick up a rock and put it near a tree.
A tree. Just any tree.
Pick a tree.
Finally, it was time to get to the cowboy part.
Oh, here's a pretty looking horse.
I do like that one. I like paints.
We all picked a horse and jumped in the saddle. And the work faded into the past, just like a cowboy riding off into the sunset.
Boy, and after a day like that, at that sunset, you're going to want that pool or the hot tub and that pina colada or maybe a margarita. Every once in a while, we find something so cool it shocks me that I haven't heard about it. That's how it is with Camp Fimfo. I had not heard about this place, and I figured if I haven't heard about it, maybe you haven't heard about it either. But believe me, you're going to want to check it out.
We think it's one of the best kept secrets in Texas.
It's such a secret, I've driven through Saddler near Canyon Lake, right by the entrance to Camp Fimfo, and I didn't even know it was there.
Over here you have our 4 different large water slides, including our multi-level play structure.
It's roughly 475 acres of hill country fun that some people don't even know exists.
FIMFO is an acronym that stands for Fun is More Fun Outdoors.
If you don't have fun here, it's your own fault.
Getting people unplugged from inside and their devices and experiencing all that there is to enjoy in the outdoors.
Along with the water slides, there are several swimming pools with swim-up bars, hot tubs, miniature golf, and at the end of the day, when you're worn out,
We have 213 cabins. We have 247 RV sites and 29 tent sites.
but who wants a tent when you can have this? Camp FIMFO takes glamping to a whole new level. They even have a huge event center and an outdoor chapel for weddings. But I think the best thing is the Cliff Carver.
So the Cliff Carver is the only and first alpine coaster in the state of Texas.
I couldn't wait to get on. It's almost a mile long, and unless you hit the brakes, it takes you on an 8-minute ride that twists and turns from the top of a hill to the bottom. Then 3 places along the ride, it lifts you to the top of another hill and you shoot down again. The place is so cool, it gets international guests all the time.
I just had some folks from Canada that come down every year and they just place their booking for next year.
No kidding.
Once you go, you'll go back too. It's a gem, tucked away almost intentionally.
It almost seems like you're entering a small park, but when you come on property, you realize it just keeps going and going.
That Cliff Carver is so cool. I can't wait to take my kids out and ride it. Really, that's just me using it as an excuse to go again. And a lot of companies have softball teams. Kins has one. Maybe your job does too. And a lot of us have played recreational softball. And I played baseball, but I always wondered if I could hit fast-pitch softball. So recently I had the opportunity to suit up with the UTSA Roadrunners women's softball team. Let me tell you, these young ladies can play.
That is hammered to left, high and deep and gone.
Cam Robillard makes it look pretty easy. Swing of the bat and a nice little trot around the bases.
And Davis sending that one out of here.
It's almost routine for them. But hitting a softball at 65, 70 miles per hour from 40 feet is insanely tough. So I suited up with the UTSA ladies.
Hey, wait, before we go, what happens if you're last?
You're cut.
They let me play anyway.
Ready?
That's the money maker.
Go. Harry, come on.
I took a few grounders, and then Coach Van Studeman showed up. And I learned real quick, she don't play.
We need birds up, baby. We need.
I'm
right
all over
bird.
them, baby.
We need birds up on you.
All right,
Let's
here
get
we
this-
go.
Yep, let's don him. Absolutely. Yes.
That's what I'm talking about, right there.
Right
the
there.
bird.
Once I was properly attired, the real work began. And I knew right away Coach wasn't cutting me any slack.
You gotta get it over there. 2.6. Hired or fired. If you're fired, she goes. If she's fired, you go. You just keep going. Go, Barry! Get rid of it. 309. You're fired. All right,
Close. Robillard, the shortstop, showed me it's all about the speed of the release. So I had to try to redeem myself, and I'm a quick study.
Oh, he just might be.
The infield is incredibly fast. I thought maybe I better head to the outfield. That's where players like center fielder Matty Hayes rule. After a few tips, I shagged a few fly balls, and I caught most of them.
I didn't plan on falling.
These young ladies move like gazelles, fast and fluid. Most have been playing since they were little girls.
And I always tell myself, I tell my girls around me is play like you were 9, play free, play just free-spirited, act like you've been here before. And you just go out there, you play the game you've been playing since you were 9, 10, 11 years old, and it just comes natural.
It's definitely not the softball most of us think.
Into the glove of Pritchard, who makes a great play.
The team hasn't had the success they hoped for this year, but they know heading into conference play, they're in a good position.
At this point in the season, we're calling ourselves the spoiler Cinderellas. We're trying to spoil everybody's season that's in front of us that we get to play and get that Cinderella slipper into the big dance.
Forney swings and launches it.
They swing for the fence every time, so I had to see if I could even touch it. I hit the first pitch and several others, but they blew far more by me than I sent back to them. Season didn't quite end the way they wanted to, but hey, next year I highly encourage you to go out and watch the ladies play. We're always looking for fun things to do too, and recently we decided it doesn't have to be outdoors. If you know of something that's a ton of fun, email me, bdavis@kens5.com. We'll take on just about anything. And if you're still looking for more Texas adventures, you can check out our stories and videos about dozens of great places to explore by heading over to kens5.com/Texas Outdoors. I'm Barry Davis. Thanks for watching.